And welcome in this afternoon. It is the Sunday afternoon tilt between the Montreal Lions and the Edmonton Stingers. Montreal 3 and 4, Edmonton 2 and 4. Coming here from Verdun Auditorium. Cabina Dora, Dwight Walton, Mo Khan. We welcome those watching on an overcast Sunday in Montreal. Dwight, it was sunnier for Montreal on Saturday. They beat Winnipeg by 6. However, for Edmonton, they lost to Brampton on Wednesday. They've been chilling in Montreal since Thursday, Dwight, and here we are, the scene of the crime here. Both teams kind of muddled in their race for playoff spots here. Right now for Montreal, they got to be feeling good about themselves because they're coming off a win over Winnipeg, Edmonton's division rival. Well, in terms of the Alliance this afternoon, Mo, they have to feel good about themselves with the infusion of some new talent in Ant Nelson and Davion Warren. And as we're seeing here, Ant Nelson at the top of the key, breaking down his man off the dribble and finding Michael Hughes in the dunker spot for a two-handed slam. That's what Jermaine Small and the Alliance want from Ant Nelson. He may not score the basketball at a high clip, but what he does, he's a point guard, wants to get others involved and to make them feel good about themselves. In terms of Edmonton, they're coming off of a tough loss against Brampton the other night, but they did shoot the ball well. I like how their bench unit comes in and gives them the spark that the starters don't. So it's going to be an interesting contrast of style this afternoon. Let's see which style of play wins out between Edmonton and Montreal.
Yeah, we talk about Edmonton's depth, and Coach Jordan Baker said he's got a plethora of guys that can score 8 points or more in a game here. 100%. Let's take a look at the matchup stats right now with these two teams on this Sunday afternoon, Dwight. And quite frankly, look, you look at the numbers, both teams can score points at a high clip. Edmonton a little bit better at 90 points a game. Montreal just under 87 a game. However, both could definitely go for 100 today.
Well, it's going to be a clash on the glass. Let's see who can win the rebounding powers this afternoon. But again, teams are going to force the Alliance to make free throws and to beat them from the perimeter. So until the Alliance can prove to the teams around the league that they can shoot the ball from distance, they're going to pack the paint and make them prove how they can play. Again, the bench is going to be of the utmost importance for the Stingers this afternoon to see how their style of play wins out.
Well, let's go to the coach that won the Edmonton Stingers a couple of CEB titles with Cabina Dora. Jermaine Small now with Cabina.
Coach, you guys were able to snap a 3-game losing streak last game. What worked for you guys?
I mean, when we started rebounding the ball, we're just a better team, and then, scoring off our defense really worked well. So I think we're going to continue to do those things tonight, and obviously having more depth always helps, but just focus on the things that we can't control.
You mentioned depth over there. You had more than 5 players who had double digits. What does that say about this team going forward?
Yeah, no, I mean, look, any given night, we have a couple guys step up, but even, like just having contributions everywhere. Everyone contributed, and this makes us a deeper team, makes you a better team.
And I know we always talk about free throws. The free throw shooting was better. How important is that going to be against the Edmonton Stingers?
Yeah, it's extremely important. I mean, you work so hard to get to the free throw line, and you can't leave free money on the table, as I say. So we've been improving. I'm proud of them, but we can even get even better.
Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for this.
Back to you, Mo.
Thank you so much, Coach Small and Kubina. Coming up next, we got tip-off between Edmonton and Montreal. You watch CBL Live on CBC Gem, CBL Plus, and YouTube. Listen to TSN 690 on this Sunday afternoon. Welcome back to Verdun. Cobino Doro, Dwight Walton, Mo Khan. And Dwight, let's take a look at some keys for today's game, starting up with the Stingers of Edmonton.
Well, for both teams pretty much, but the Stingers are definitely want to limit the Alliance on their second chance opportunities. So finishing off defensive possessions with rebounds going to be very, very important this afternoon. Defensive balance. Do not allow the Alliance to get out in transition. Don't give them live ball opportunities. If you're going to turn the ball over, make sure it's a dead ball turnover rather than a live ball turnover. And when I'm talking about a new scouting report, the focus is no longer on Javon Freeman Liberty when it comes to the Alliance. Ant Nelson, Davion Warren have bring another form of infusion of offense to this Alliance offensively.
And finally, for the Montreal Alliance, what are the keys today, Dwight, for maybe win number 4 against a very good Stinger team?
Rebounding for them as well. You do not want to give the Stingers any second chance opportunities. Like, it's going to be the theme for every game this season. You want to finish defensive possessions by corralling the rebounds and giving yourselves a chance to score offensively. Now you want to turn the Stingers over in transition. Live ball turnovers. The Alliance are excellent in transition. I believe they're better in the fast court than they are in the half court. And stay disciplined defensively. Keep Stingers out of the paint. Don't allow dribble penetration. And again, finish rebounds, finish possessions without fouling.
There you see the lineups for Montreal being introduced to the court. And let's take a look at the starting 5 for each team for Edmonton and Montreal. And we talk about the Stingers and who they have coming in there. Moore is a guy who's had wonderful games against the Alliance. Trey King III, Mike Nuga, Samaj Teal, and Emmanuel Bandumel, local product from Quebec City. And for the Alliance, Osawe, Hughes second, Guerrier, Freeman Liberty, and Ant Nelson making his second consecutive starts.
What I like about Jordan Baker's Edmonton Stingers, Mo, is that, yes, we have the starting five here for the Stingers, but to me, where they really get their offensive potency from and the infusion of enthusiasm is from their bench. You're talking about Tay Donald, talking about Scott Lindsay, Stanley Davis Jr., Isaac Jack. Those players are going to be coming in, as what I saw the other night against Brampton. To me, they had a lot more success with their bench unit than they did their starters. Nothing against their starters, but I think Jordan Baker wants to see the game change in terms of dynamics and offensive potency when his bench players come in.
Well, you look at Sam Moore. He's a man who's had a wonderful start. Came into Edmonton just recently, and you see some of the highlights with Ottawa, and he's been a dagger to the Hearts of Montreal, not once but a few times.
You know what? Well, when it comes to, if you look at his offensive production so far this season, he's only averaging around 8 points and shooting 25% from three. However, when it comes to the Montreal Alliance, he seems to like to play against them. In 5 career games, he's averaging close to 16 points per game. Defensive presence, offensive presence, does very well against the Alliance.
And good old reliable Javon Freeman Liberty, 20 points a game. He's the guy you're watching out today.
No question about it. Well, like I said at the top of the show, new scouting report for the Edmonton Stingers when it comes to the Alliance. Javon Freeman Liberty now, the pressure is off him in terms of him having to make plays on his own and scoring the basketball. With the addition of Ant Nelson and Davion Warren, Javon now could slot himself back into the 2 guard position to where he feels he can be even more efficient and more dangerous offensively.
Well, we'll see today how this plays out for both teams who are in search of an identity. Montreal's coming off a comprehensive win over Winnipeg. However, Edmonton has yet to find the consistent sting that they want in their game. Today could mark the start of a positive momentum towards the horizon this summer, and right now both teams want to end the weekend on a strong note, begin the week on a great start, and we'll see what they do today on this Sunday. Edmonton will be in their away uniforms with navy primary color and gold and white numeral trim. Montreal in their sky blues with white numeral trim on this tilt. He was a second and more, a little offside by both on the jump.
That's right.
And we're underway with Edmonton, who will go right to left on your screen, Montreal left to right on your screen. And we're underway here with Teal at the controls, scoring about 12.5 a game this year for the Stingers.
Right off the hop, Mo, the Alliance come out in a 2-3 zone, trying to they want Edmonton to prove to them that they can score over the top.
Well, we'll see what they can do here. Edmonton's a team that scores about 90 points a game. They're 2-1, they score 95 points or more. We'll see if that will be the target mark today. He was the second. Here is Nelson with 12 dimes on Friday against the Seabirds. And that goes right behind the hands with a whistle. And that goes towards 9:23 left. And a side-out pass come up for the Alliance.
The matchup I'm looking forward to seeing this afternoon is Trey King for the Stingers and Quincy Guerrier for the Alliance. Both are power forwards, both very strong. Both bring a lot of offense and rebounding to their respective clubs.
Nelson is formative start with the Alliance. Gurry using his back, and Montreal gets the first 2 points of the day. Gurry had 14, 5, and 5 against the Seabirds.
And on cue right there, Quincy Guerrier getting the early offensive advantage over the aforementioned Trey King.
And we'll see what they can do now if King, Nuga, and the boys, and Nuga opens up his account with his first 2 and might provide a few groans for the Alliance defending.
Nuga with 2 strong dribbles to the nail, bumping off Javon Freeman Liberty. Nice mid-range jumper from him.
Had a high of 12 against Vancouver this season. And again, Baker is very high in the depth that he has on guys that can score points. I believe he has about 4 or 5 guys that have scored 8 points more this season. Hughes the second. And Hughes with the 3, and Montreal back up by 3.
Hughes is not known for his shot from distance right there, but there, getting the early opportunity, knocking his first shot down.
Had 11 and 3 against Seabirds, a jumper. And the rebound for Hughes, second off the miss from King the third. And back out it comes. Osawe had a strong game against Edmonton last year, and now looking to add to his totals. 8:13 left in his first quarter play. Nelson, rather protracted. Here is Gurry, strong. And that will be a whistle, and that will be a foul on Isaiah Moore.
Love the energy early from both Michael Hughes and Quincy Guerrier. Once again, establishing themselves on the interior. So far good, so far so good defensively in terms of the rebounding and the earlier energy and aggressiveness from Quincy. Here's the early move over Trey King right there. And then the last move, we see the ball gets swung to him in the corner from Matt Nelson. Quick swing and drive to the basket, creating contact and going to the lineup for two.
Gurry's had a difficult spell, difficult form at the free throw line this season, only shooting 30% from the line. And it remains to be that, if not worse. And right now, still a 5-2 lead for the Alliance over the Stingers.
It's all about confidence right now for Quincy Guerrier at the free throw line.
Jumper for Moore, and he has found his romance with the rims of Verdun.
I know he's only averaging 7.5 points per game on the season, but when it comes to the Alliance as the opponents, he feels very comfortable offensively.
Had 10 against Calgary his first game, and now looking to expand on that average this year. Freeman Liberty, here's the second with the hammer, and Montreal backed up by 3.
Excellent pocket pass right there from Javon Freeman Liberty to a cutting Michael Hughes for the one-handed slam.
And that will be a travel, and we're going the other way. Edmonton, another turnover. Not the best in the league at 15 per game, below the mark of the average that it is for the highest number.
Here it is once again. There was the pocket pass to a streaking Michael Hughes. The second goes up strong with the one-handed flush.
And this will be back over to Montreal. Here's Anthony Nelson, 7:20 left. 3-point lead for the Alliance over the Stingers. Guerrier, everyone below the free throw line. Now Freeman Liberty trying to control the shift towards the Nugal on him. Freeman Liberty, 5 left the shot clock. Hughes the second, switch of play. 2 left the shot clock at the death. Rebound. A new 14 work for Osawa in the Alliance. Using his deltoids again. Head fake, twisting, turning. And now a calm of the heart for Freeman Liberty. Hughes the second in traffic. And not that time. Second by the cherry, and he's fouled. And what looked like a disjointed possession ends up being free throws for the Alliance.
Once again, you got to love the early energy that Michael Hughes II is showing on both ends of the floor for the Alliance. Not successful on the first attempt. On the second attempt, getting his offensive rebound, creating contact from Trey King. Going to the line now here for 2 free throws.
Montreal still dead last in the league at 65% per game. They're 55% against Scarborough. They shot 60% against Winnipeg. They missed 10 free throws, though, in the win on Friday.
Michael Hughes has definitely come out with intent and a purpose this afternoon. Again, early energy on both ends of the floor.
More back over it comes. Here comes Samaj Teal with it. From the center arc. Up in the air, rebound, Freeman Liberty. And another one and done for the Stingers. Not their stunt that they looked for so far. Freeman Liberty. The putback, no good. The rebound right back over to Teal. And now Teal's on his afterburns. Transition, Nuga, corner pocket 3. And that don't mix that. And Hughes second collapses on the court. And back out to the lines it comes. Nelson on the pirouette against Banduel. And he tried to find Trent Johnson on the end line, and that went out of bounds instead.
Right idea from Matt Nelson, trying to create for himself. Tried to find a streaking Trent Johnson who was cutting from the three-point line. Unfortunate for Ant, the ball goes out of bounds.
This Eastern Conference game is presented by Lotto Max, the official sponsor of the CEBL, and also tip-off, and this basketball is presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the CEBL. And right now for the Alliance, they're up by score 8-4 south of 6. Covino Doro, Dwight Walton, Mo Khan on this Sunday. And here is Samaj Teal with it on the switch of Guerrier. Vanderbilt from the free throw line. And the rebound up and cleaned up by Javon Freeman Liberty.
Nice defensive possession right there. Nice rebound from JFL.
Another giveaway by the Alliance has been a problematic issue, and more with the hammer blow as they punish the Alliance on the miscue.
That's what the Stingers want to do. They want a live ball turnover from the Alliance right there. Isaiah Moore taking advantage.
Osawa's 3 idea was there, but the execution was not, and now one score lead separates Montreal from Edmonton. Teal, rebound Johnson. And Montreal just breathing a sigh of relief, trying to get back their bearings as they'll make a couple of subs coming up. Post play, here is Guerrier again. Trying to muscle his way through, off balance. and will go to the free throw line, and that might not be a bad thing for your empty Stingers to put Quincy Gurry at the free throw line.
Yes, most definitely, Mo. The reputation is definitely getting around the league. If you can't stop Quincy Guerrier on the interior, at the very least, put him on the line. And now you're seeing Jordan Baker going to maybe what I call the best bench in the CEBL with Tay Donald and Scott Lindsey coming into the lineup, trying to give themselves a boost early on in this first quarter.
Yeah, Scotty Lindsey scoring about 13 a game, longtime CEBL veteran into this league. Signed at the end of May, had 16 against Calgary and 10 against Brampton in the loss on Wednesday. And a rebound right back to Moore, and the sickness continues for the Alliance when it comes to free throw shooting. It's not the right seasickness to look at.
It's almost as if Quincy right now doesn't want to get to the free throw line. He has lost all of his confidence. 0 for 4 so far this afternoon.
Vanderbilt against Johnson. Finding the open space for the 45. Splash. The big three coming through. Scotty Lindsey shooting 33% from long range.
The bench paying early dividends for Jordan Baker and the Stingers. Scott Lindsey with the three.
Edmonton top 5 in the league. Freeman Liberty from 17. And Montreal back up by 1.
Very important shot right there from Freeman Liberty, stemming the tide for the Stingers.
Lindsey back-to-back threes. And the rebound right to Johnson again. Here is Freeman Liberty leading the charge. One end to the other end. And can't find the end product. And a cleanup right back over to the Stingers. And here comes Vanderbilt in the gallop on his bike around Bukal. Denied by Bukal. And rebounded right back over towards Davion Warren in the game for the first time today. Warren gets his first 2 points. And remember, he's had quite the success playing here for Dunn as an Alliance member and other teams.
Correct. Both teams have gone to their bench early, and both teams are getting early offensive chances from their bench.
Warren has 23. Moore get point number 6.
Isaiah Moore continues to play well offensively against the Alliance. Misses the initial shot, finishing strong with the putback.
Gurry over Moore. Gurry, part 2, can't get the cleanup. And now it is the Stingers who can regain the lead. Transition, Vanderbilt. Drive by against Bukar, kick out, Nuga's 3. And the rebound right back to Freeman Liberty. Another one and done for the Stingers.
Both teams need to settle themselves down offensively. A bit frantic right now here with 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Warren isoed with Lindsey. Warren going up against another former team of the Stingers. And Warren can get the 2 points right there. As you said, 23-4 against Winnipeg. And we'll see what he does against his former team, the Stingers.
Davion Warren feels very comfortable in his early tenure with the Alliance, feeling very good offensively.
He had 10 in game number 1 with the Seabirds against the Stingers. Open 3, Vanderbilt. Locked in, loaded, and it's back to parity to go.
Vanderbilt shot the ball extremely well the other night against Brampton. 1 for 2 so far from downtown this afternoon.
Had 5 threes against the Honey Badgers, and Warren was point number 4 of the day.
New scouting report, like I said at the top of the program, Mo. The Edmonton Stingers have to pay attention to Davion Warren.
And now back in the game, Tay Donald for the first time today. Nuga's jumper. Rebound, another chance for Moore, another reload. Vanderbilt had 20 against Brampton, and that's off his foot with 2:07 left. And this remains Edmonton ball. We will take a timeout here. It is a 16-14 lead for Montreal over Edmonton. You're watching CBL Live on CBC Gem, CBL Plus, YouTube, and listening on TSN 690. Mike Hughes second with a dunk. Isaiah Moore with his own response coming down the hole.
Mo, Dwight, the two coaches, Jordan Baker and Jermaine Small, are no strangers to each other. The two won championships together back in Edmonton, and I had a chance to talk to both of them before the game about their relationship. Jordan Baker for Edmonton told me that they are still close. They text, and he still asks Jermaine Small for advice. Jermaine Small told me that the two are still close. He's always there to mentor Jordan Baker, and he says the two are probably going to go for dinner once this game is all said and done. Mo?
Thank you so much, Kubina. I wonder who's paying for that meal. I wonder if Jermaine Small has alligator arms with that bill.
You know what, Mo? I think he's the hometown coach. Edmonton's on the road. I think Jermaine should be the one paying for the meal.
I'm sure Jermaine might apply the per diem rule on him. And here is Moore, who gets that block on the per diem. And here is Davian Moore.
Michael Hughes, again, with the energy defensively right there. Nice block on the King attempt.
Back over to King the third. Rebound right back to King the third. No chance on that. Third reply back over in traffic. And Lindsay gliding his way through for two.
Scotty Lindsay, has one thing on his mind when he comes off the bench with the second unit. That's to put the ball in the basket. Doing well right there with the offensive putback.
He's a fire starter for this Stinger team, and they have gone punch for punch with the line so far in the first 8 and change. Warren, Boucard. And another rebound coming up here for Jack, the Pacific alum, played under Dave Smart last season.
Yes, Isaac Jack is another part of that bench unit. Definitely brings the physicality to the Stingers.
And Boucard on the finish. And don't forget, follow the CEBL League on all social media platforms. Stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro League. And 58 seconds left. Montreal up by 2. And here comes the pass. And here is Jack splitting through. That's off his knee. And back over. It comes off the competition here. Don't forget Cal Tire, proud partner and tire expert of the CBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop the book at caltire.com. And this will be, instead, Dwight's free throws for Jack.
Well, Yannick and Greg Southward got together. Both were conflicted in their calls as Jack went to the basket. Greg Southward had the ball going off Jack's leg as he went to the basket. Yannick had the ball, had a foul. The foul overrides the out-of-bounds call. Jack goes to the free throw line, missing the first of 2 free throws here.
And unfortunately, his perfect start at the line is now over. And he had 8 against Brampton and 10 rebounds. High hope for him. 0 for 2. Still remains 2-point lead for the Alliance. Warren. And he's closely guarded by. And now Hughes the second by Jack instead. 38 seconds left in this first quarter play. 10 left on the small clock. Boucard, good start for him so far. Boucard, strip, clean up. Anderson, rebound, clean up again, and the 2-point for Osawe.
Rebounding is paramount on the defensive glass for the Stingers right there. Multiple opportunities. Osawe with the last one. Johnny on the spot for the Alliance, scoring 2.
At 14 against Winnipeg, and here is the last roll of dice for King third and the Stingers. Lindsay, high-low, Jack, whistle, no basket. And this will be a foul called on Montreal. 8.5 left. That will be the second team foul on the Alliance.
Isaac Jack was diving to the basket, and the foul was called on Guillaume Boucard. Smart foul right there, giving the Alliance another opportunity defensively.
Quick pass open from the 45. Splash going through this time for Tate Donald, who's a 38% three-point shooter. Anderson at the depth. And that will be that. And at the end of one, Montreal 20, Edmonton 19. We're through 10 minutes of play from Verdun Auditorium. You watch CBL Basketball Live on CBL Plus, CBC Gem, YouTube, and listen to TSN 690. And right here, the Alliance, courtesy of Guillaume Boucard, up by 1. Welcome back. Let's go down to Cubino Dora with a unique look on Davion Warren, who's had quite the success playing against the Alliance and now with the Alliance.
Yeah, so Mo, when Davion Warren was playing with the Stingers, he dropped a 30-piece here in Montreal. And last game was his first game with Montreal, and he dropped 23, and he's off to a hard start tonight. I had the chance to speak to him all of last game, and he says that he really wants to embrace the culture here, the community here, and he wants to pack up the Verdun Auditorium. And if he keeps playing like that, that might happen. Mo?
Well, thank you so much, Gabina. In fact, Warren was 4-6 from three-point range. They won by 4 in that tilt against the Alliance. In fact, Edmonton 5-2 lifetime against the Alliance, and they split the season series last year. So Davion Warren could be the 5-tool player for the Alliance, Dwight, going towards the stretch of games coming up.
Well, after scoring 23 in his initial game against Winnipeg on Friday night, he's off to a hard start this afternoon, making his first 3 shots.
And now here the Alliance, Ben Stevens in the game for the first time. He fumbled it, gets it back. Stevens going against Jack, kicking it out, interception. And back it goes to the Stingers on a 3-on-2. Dancing the way through is Davis Jr. Donald, back door. And another hammer dunk coming up for the Stingers, courtesy of Trey King III.
Scotty Davis Jr. finding Tay Donald in transition, and then underneath the basket for King for the two-handed slam.
And that's off the knee and recovered by Stevens. Recovered towards Gurry from the flats. Splash. Montreal back up by 2.
You can tell game by game, Quincy Guerrier is starting to get his sea legs underneath him, has been dominant on the interior, showing his prowess in the short corner 3.
And now Donald with it, scoring about 7.5 a game from Laurier. Donald on the inner play with Jack. Tough play, well defended by Nelson. And here is a 2-on-1 for the Alliance. Freeman Liberty, Guerrier. Another hammer blow.
You knew Ed Nelson was trying to angle himself to keep Quincy Guerrier going offensively off to the hot early start.
5-0 run for the Alliance, up by 4. Davis Jr. on the switch. And here is a switch of play from the corner pocket. And a rebound for Stevens. And the Alliance looking like they're smelling blood in the water. Their tails were up, and they're hunting and hounding. Freeman Liberty, Guerrier. And he is stripped. He's had 5 points the last 2 possessions, and now gets hacked on the wrist.
Quincy Guerrier has had a tough year this year with injuries and didn't come into camp in the best shape that he could have. But you can tell, game by game, he's starting to feel better, starting to get better condition. Been pretty dominant offensively on the interior, has made a shot from distance, and right there, rim running down the court, his teammates finding him, and now he's going to the free throw line to where he's missed his first 4 shots this afternoon.
And Gurry is on a 4-game streak of 11 points or more in his last 4, and we'll see if he can extend that moving forward as well. New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of his teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official Rub Club jerseys now by visiting CEBL.ca. New Era, official uniform supplier of the league. And he's 1 of 2, so he's 1 of 5 overall today. Here's a long pass to Jack. Here's the go from Davis Jr. from the free throw line. Jack, rebound, hooked, whistle, and a foul called on the Alliance.
As I said earlier, Isaac Jack, when it comes to the ball game, definitely a big man that knows his job, knows his role, creating physicality, trying to be a presence both defensively and offensively when it comes to being in the paint.
$8:15 left here in this quarter play. And back over in the high-low. Teal from the corner. Smooth coming up this time from Davis Jr., hitting about 25% from three-point range this year.
Teal turned the corner with his right hand, recognizing that the Alliance totally shifted defensively, finding Teal on the corner for the 3.
Make about 10 threes a game. Stevens, Teal on him. Stevens. It looked ugly, but it was smooth at the end.
Stevens has been struggling so far early in the season. He has to feel good to see that left-hand jump up go in the basket.
Hasn't seen much time at all. Davis Jr. has seen plenty of time. Another basket to his name, and we're back to a 2-point lead for the Alliance.
Davis Jr. or...
And a little hook and tie with Jack and Freeman Liberty as they play a little arm wrestling with the basketball in hand.
I love the offensive intensity that Tay Donald, Scott Lindsey, and Stanley Davis Jr. They all come in with one purpose, one intent, and that's to bring the game up offensively. There's great defensive transition right there by Trey King, tying up Javon Freeman Liberty in transition.
That was a 2-for-1 on that jump up. And now here comes the tip, and that goes into the second row off the hand of Anthony Nelson. 7:19 left as Davion Warren will come back in. No subs for the Stingers. As Jordan Baker got a little feel of the basketball, probably reminiscing his old days as being a great for the Edmonton Stingers.
Jermaine Small definitely has to feel good about the offensive depth that has been added to this roster since last week. Davion Warren definitely coming back in to score the basketball.
Samaj Steele. Jack taken away by Warren. And that is kept away from Jack. And this goes back over to the Lions. And that is turnover number 3 for the Stingers today.
Excellent low tag defensively right there on the screen roll action involving Isaac Jack. Davion Warren paying dividends defensively.
7:04 left in this first half of play. Corbina Dora, Dwight Walton, Mo Khan, Stevens. And Nelson, will he fancy this shot? He goes to the low block to Gurrier. Trying to work his way through. Gurrier, Nelson for 3. Smooth. And the Alliance are back up by 5.
Excellent two-man game. The Alliance offensively got a little bit stagnant, but Ant Nelson bailing them out with the long-distance 3-ball.
Biggest lead for the Alliance is 5. Samaj Steele. And that quick pass from Trey King III, who gets it back away from Nat Nelson. 8 left in the shot clock. King III, and he got wrestled, and that will be a whistle, and that will be a foul as Mason Borsier and more come back in for the Stingers, and Bukov along with Johnson in for the Alliance.
That's what we're talking about at the top of the show here, where the Alliance having to stay disciplined defensively. You want to play defense without fouling. Trey King was up against the clock, but unfortunately for Ant Nelson and the Alliance, causing a foul with 6 seconds to go on the shot clock, and now the clock resets to 14. Aaron Rooms coming into the ball game for Trey King the third.
Aaron Rooms scoring about 5 a game, was the U Sports Basketball Player of the Year. Led Toronto Met to the Nationals, did not end up with the natty that he was hoping for. Bandamel, tough play. And this will remain Edmonton ball with 8 left in the shot clock. And right now, it has been no easy gimmies going to the rim against the Alliance big men.
Vandebel definitely went into the interior with some purpose right there. I believe there was contact, but fortunate for the Alliance, no foul was called. Here's Vandebel going to the free throw line, creating some contact with Guerrier. No foul was called.
Room blocked by Nelson. And another careless pass by the Alliance, and we've seen this be a pattern of behavior, Dwight, with the outlet pass going the wrong way.
Turnovers and free throws have been a problem for the Alliance so far in the first 7 games of the season. Right there, Quincy Guerrier with the live ball turnover. With the transition turnover.
And for Montreal, that is turnover number 4 of the day. They hit about 15 a game. Teal. And he finds the open 3 for Moore. Cash money, and they're down by 2.
Isaiah Moore comes to the game shooting 25% from 3. Another turnover.
And now can they punish them again? Teal. They are smelling blood in the water, the Stingers, and looking to be more ruthless than before. And that is well defended by Johnson. And here's a long pass to Nelson in transition for the touchdown. And the Lions are back up by 4.
The Stingers saw Trent Johnson was guarding Isaiah Moore. I think it was a little bit of a forced pass along the Alliance to get in transition.
Rooms is 3. Splash. And now they're down by 1. And again, this is a Stinger team that hits about 11 a game.
It's pretty clear that Jordan Baker loves going to his bench and has the utmost confidence with all the players in terms of the offense productivity.
5-3 so far for Edmonton. And Guerrier gets another deuce to his name. And he is now up towards 4. Giveaway. Nelson, 1 man to beat. And he's fouled and will go to the line as Vandemel will help spare the blushes that was thrown at Samaj Steele.
For your NBA fans out there who's familiar with Jose Alvarado with the New York Knicks, Ant Nelson right there with his version of Grand Theft Alvarado, with his sneaking behind the offensive player, getting the turnover, going to the free throw line for 2 points. Definitely a nice sneaky steal from Ant Nelson right there. Jose Alvarado is definitely known for that. Ant Nelson with his version on that play.
That's a hell of a video game too, Grand Theft Auto.
That's right.
Vice City. And right now, the Alliance are trying to put a vice grip on the Stingers. They're up by a score of 4, 36-32 with 5:14 left this first half. Covina Dora, Mo Connell along with Dwight Walton. On this Sunday afternoon, this is game number 8 for Montreal, game number 7 for Edmonton. They will be home to Scarborough next Saturday. Montreal will be home to Brampton on Wednesday, so a huge 2-game homestand for the Lions today and Wednesday. Room, Samaj Steele. Movement below the free throw line for the Stingers. Here's Moore. And he traveled, and he went 2 steps too many.
Quincy Guerrier sort of pulled the chair right there on the Isaiah Moore move, causing him to go out of control, and the traveling call was made.
Here's Davion Warren against Boursier, 13 on 13, well repelled by Moore. And here's Boursier on his spike, 3 on 2, transition 3 from the flats. And a rebound back to Guerrier. And the Alliance now push the agenda. Bukar splitting through the heart of the Edmonton defense. Timeout call by Baker. Don't want to talk about it. 39-32 lead for the Alliance. 4:34 left in this first half of play. You're watching CBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, CBL Plus, and listening on TSN 690. Guillaume Boucard giving Montreal a 7-point lead. Well, Dwight, you can see Jermaine Small emphasizing his final words. You look at points off and turnovers so far today, Dwight, and there's been 19 combined between Montreal and Edmonton. And right now, Montreal's got 10, and Edmonton's got 9. But here are the Montreal ones that they punished the Stingers.
Well, there's Guillaume Boucard getting the steal and getting the well-deserved layup in transition. There's Trent Johnson with the steal off of Isaiah Moore and Ant Nelson, who's had a very nice floor game on both ends of the floor so far in this first half, finishing in transition. Montreal has the early 10-9 lead in terms of points off of turnovers here in the first half. But as I spoke about the bench productivity from the Edmonton Stingers coming into the game, they have the early lead on Montreal, 18-12. I have a feeling that the bench is probably going to be paramount into which team gets the ultimate victory this afternoon.
We'll see what happens now in the ultimate victory. Curry with 10 points so far. Isaiah Moore with 9 points. And you look at the rebounding numbers, 20-16 for the Lions over the Stingers early in this game. Backdoor, and that's off the foot. And Isaiah Moore wants that ball in the air, not on the ground.
Right there, the Stingers got the ball to the most naked part of a zone defense. They got into the teeth of the defense that they're with a cutting Aaron Rooms to the free throw line, but the football gives the Alliance another chance defensively with 14 on the shot clock.
Nuga the inbounder. Teal back with it. Closely guarded by Davion Warren. Help from Moore on the right. Teal splitting through, interception, another turnover, and can they punish them again? Trailing, Johnson! And he nearly blew a tire on that one, caught 2 months, but got the layup instead.
I think Trent Johnson took off a little bit too far, otherwise he would have shown his athletic prowess with the one-handed slam. Nice finish, nonetheless.
Biggest lead now for 9, up 9 for Montreal against Stingers. South of 4 from the center arc. Cash, courtesy of Scotty Lindsey.
When all else fails for the Stingers offensively, Jordan Baker goes to Scotty Lindsey, who has no problems getting shots up to the basket.
Edmonton had 39 bench points against Brampton. Open, extra pass from the 45. Another rebound last touch by Rooms, last touch by Warren, and we are going by the body expression towards the other way.
Good ball movement right there from the Alliance, forcing the Stingers to go side to side, putting them in scramble mode. Excellent ball movement. Unfortunate with the miss. But there's Teal with the live ball turnover to Guillaume Boucard, finding the streaking Trent Johnson, who wanted to dunk it, but thought better of it with a nice soft layup in transition.
He spread his wings, but the landing was a little bit rough.
That is correct. But still a nice finish nonetheless.
6-point lead for the Lions, 3:26 left in this first half. And back out it comes towards the ability of Nuga. And you see the A+ finish by him.
Nuga with the excellent dribble drive right there over a normally dependable Guillaume Boucard defensively, but took advantage of his quickness.
And that was going to take it away. Backdoor, Boucard, off bounce, whistle, foul. Lindsay the culprits. And now we'll see how this plays out for the Lions coming up with free throws. Again, so far today, Dwight, they're 4 of 10 from the line.
Coming off of his best offensive performance, Guillaume Boucard definitely feels better scoring the basketball over the last couple of games, creating contact, going to the free throw line here to where, as you said, the Alliance are 4 for 10, now 5 for 11.
Lotomax now gives you even more chances to win with the new prizes of $100,000 every draw. Get your Lotomax ticket now. It must be 18 or over. And right now, Guillaume Boucard has played his Lotomax to the liking of the Alliance, and they're back up by 6. Davis Jr. back in along with Asaway. Rooms is off along with Boucard. Other
than that dribble drive, getting past Boucard defensively, I like what Boucard has brought to the table on both ends of the floor so far this afternoon.
Davis Jr. Isaiah Moore has inflicted heartache to the Alliance numerous times, trying to do so today. Davis Jr. still looking. Watched by Johnson, step for step from the 45. Rebound, Hughes second.
Not a very good offensive possession right there. Davis Jr. had the ball probably practically for the entire 24-second shot clock.
Here's Johnson, watched by Davis Jr. Asaway against Lindsay. Asaway slow, and that does not end up being glorious.
Good defense right there from Scotty Lindsay.
And Nuga, a little bamboozling of Warren. Lindsay, the high-low, and the arch and craft with Moore, and that's his heat map.
Scotty Lindsay getting 2 feet in the paint, throwing the alley, and Isaiah Moore finishing strong with the oop.
He is front and center of this attack for the Stingers. And here is Hughes second, who's doing the exact same thing with that moment of quality.
Michael Hughes going right back at the aforementioned Isaiah Moore, finishing strong with the left hand.
And back-to-back hammer blows by Isaiah Moore, and this is a top 10 dunk fest for Isaiah Moore today.
Isaiah Moore telling Michael Hughes, whatever you can do, I can do better.
And they're having a little bit of footsie Moore and Hughes second. And the Lions are now up by 4 with 1:35 left, 45-41 lead. Moore for the center arc, open 3. And another rebound and reload for Nuga and the Stingers. Here's another chance. Here's Lindsay who can hit them. And you see why. Nothing but nylon. Timeout called by the Alliance. 1:19 left. And Montreal holding on to a 1-point lead over Edmonton.
When Tay Donald, Scott Lindsay, Stanley Davis Jr., and Isaiah Jack come into the game for this Edmonton Stingers, it just changes the entire flow, the entire dynamic of the game, exactly what Jordan Baker wants the Stingers to do. And now they've come back all the way back to a 1-point deficit, forcing Jermaine Small and the Alliance to regroup.
What has changed now? And here's the first alley-oop for Isaiah Moore, and he has been a culprit of highlights for the Stingers, and it's one after another, and there might be more going ahead here. What does Montreal do to contain Isaiah Moore? Because so far, Dwight, you look at his value, 13 points, 6 of 8 from the field, 7 rebounds. That's usually a game's worth. That's one half worth of what he's done against the Lions.
And I'm sure, Mo, if you asked Isaiah Moore if he could play against the Montreal Alliance for all 24 games during the CEBL season, he would definitely take it. Again, coming into the game, scoring 7.5 points per game, shooting a paltry 25% from three. He already has a 3 in this ball game, going 1 for 2, has 13 points, 7 rebounds. So you can tell, again, coming into the game, in 5 previous games, averaging 16 points per game against the Alliance. So whatever it is, whether it's at home or on the road with whatever team he's playing for, he loves seeing the Alliance uniform because he feels good about himself, particularly on the offensive end.
Coming up at half, the CDIC top defensive plays of the month. Covina will interview the Edmonton Stinger head coach Jordan Baker. A look at the first half stats and Dwight's players to watch and more. And right now the Alliance are up by 1. Nelson back with it. Here's Freeman Liberty, quiet start for him so far. Nelson hit a 3 earlier in the second quarter play, watched by Scott Lindsay. Open, Gurrier from the flats. Rebound, Nuga, 58 seconds left. And Nuga is on his block. Here's Davis Jr. on the afterburn, denied by Hughes second. Rim protector at his finest, and now the Alliance are on the go. Freeman Liberty, and 1.
That's exactly what you want to see the Alliance, from the Alliance, converting defense into offense, forcing the Stingers to play in transition. First of all, you saw there was the excellent block from Hughes the second, and then taking the contact from Scotty Lindsay was Javon Freeman Liberty going to the free throw line for a possible 3-point play and stopping the momentum that the Stingers created before forcing Small to call a timeout.
Yeah, Freeman Liberty, look at the proof of his DNA. 4 points, 4 dimes. He's starting to really pick up the assist totals after having a couple of 30-point games in the first few games of this early start of the CEBL season.
The troubles continue for the Alliance from the free throw line.
You don't say. They're now 6 of 13. And this goes out of bounds. And Montreal, with 35 seconds left, have a chance to add more value to their totals that they've scored so far.
Unfortunate miscommunication right there with Tay Donald and his teammates throwing to a vacant short corner.
26 seconds left. Freeman Liberty, Nelson is the left, and he is called for the foul, and it's going back to Edmonton way.
I'd like to see the replay on that, but I believe Ant Nelson definitely extended his arm, causing an offensive foul. Here it is. We'll see Ant Nelson right there going against Tay Donald. Pretty good sail job right there by Tay Donald defensively. Not much of a chicken wing was used by Ant Nelson, but any chance you get a chance to manipulate or fool the official and get advantage of it, Tay Donald definitely did right there, causing a turnover for the Alliance.
I believe Tay Donald got an A+ in drama class at Lower University with that move.
Yes, he did.
We'll see now what they can come up here. Could Edmonton get this down to 1 or get this to parity at halftime with these two teams going at it today? 23.8 left here. Covina Doro, Dwight Walton, Mo Khan. 47-44 lead for Montreal. Montreal so far, their biggest lead has been 9 points. The biggest score run has been 8 points. They've had the lead of 17 minutes in this game. And right now, for Edmonton, we've only had the lead for just 26 seconds this game.
Well, George Baker definitely wants to take advantage of that great defensive play by Tay Donald. Wanted to get the last shot before halftime. Wants to go into halftime with some momentum. I would say they want to get the shot up with at least 6 seconds to go to give themselves an opportunity at a second chance opportunity, but they definitely want to make sure that they get the final shot before halftime.
We'll see what the final shot will look like out there. Is King III along with Donald, Moore, Davis Jr., and Nuga. It is Nelson, it is Osawe, Hughes II, and Gurrier, and Freeman Liberty. The final 5 contestants for each side. 22 seconds left in this first half of play. Donald, open to the flats. 10 left in the game clock. Giveaway. And here is Nelson. 8 left the alley, and that was not the right call. And now it is Edmonton's chance to come back here with extra points. And that was a little too quick, a rush of blood. And at the end of the half, it is Montreal 47, Edmonton 44, going towards walking.
I believe the Alliance caught the Stingers off guard, but coming out in that 2-3 zone.
And we will now be joined by Quincy Gurrier with Covina Doro.
Quincy, you're going into half up by 3. What's working well for you guys?
I think our defense, we were just playing with a lot of energy, playing together offensively, and then, we just got to keep rebounding.
You had a pretty big first half. How are you feeling?
I felt great. My teammates are trusting me. I got to make free throws, though, but yeah, that's it.
Is that what is your mindset going to the second half, make those free throws?
Yeah, no, just play the game the right way. I know the free throws going to come, and, we got to keep going what we're doing.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you, Mo.
Thank you, Kubina. When leading at halftime, Montreal's 3-1. When trailing at halftime, Edmonton is 1-3. A lot of talk about to look out here. You're watching CEBL live on CBC Gem, TSN 690, YouTube. At half, Montreal up by.
Trying to jumpstart this offense for Saskatoon. Looking inside. 5 on the shot clock. Down to Martin. Pocket pick. Tynes back the other way. The steal and the score. Tynes lays it in. The ends going nuts. And a timeout on the floor.
Tynes with his 3rd steal of the game. Already making a case for CEBL Defensive Player of the Year. That's his early bid.
The top shot.
And missed 3, and rebound from Boucard. CEBL coming in Ottawa for the first time, along with Trent Johnson and Ben Steven. And Scott up there was Fudge. And here is Fudge. Here is Harmon. Transition 3. Splash. A hat-trick of 3, and now they're up by 9.
Inside 10 on the shot clock. East trying to slide, almost had it picked off, and it was Boucard in transition up to Freeman Liberty. He tosses it back, and Johnson throws it down. Welcome to the Circus Act, the Alliance on center stage.
Lions playing great defense on the basketball.
During their last game against Brampton, and hopefully this time they finish with a win.
Spinning move from Log. Big block by Fudge. See in the top left corner of your screen. Target score is 90.
And it's wasting no time when there's a big slot for Trey Townsend, the former Arizona Wildcat, saying, no, sir.
Williams. Freeman Liberty in the corner. Up top. Osawe, nice spin inside. Oh, Keon Ambrose Hilton swats that down. Rim, this place would have erupted.
Yeah, you got Ambrose Hilton there from the weak side. Does a nice job not just blocking it, but keeping the ball alive.
For the moment. Freeman Liberty. Watched by Caillot. Freeman Liberty, devour. Chuente, a pogo stick, showing his telescopic arms, and he sent that ball towards LaSalle, Quebec.
The attention that JFL is getting defensively. Here we see he feels that he's beaten KO off the dribble. Chuente right here with the emphatic block.
And they have enough athletes. Like David Walker is a great athlete to come into the game, and he's been pretty effective tonight.
Oh, and what a block by Jeremiah Tillman Jr. Get out of here, he says.
Talk about effective. That guy has put in a shift today. Holy smokes, both ends of the floor. That was a great block. He really timed it right. Second jump, made a nice play, and takes his time, waits, and then, second off the floor, which is really important in that situation.
Warren to the rebound, but stripped. Tim leaking down the floor, wants to hammer it down, but Teddy Allen says, put that back in your tool belt. Right back down the lane, and Teddy doing it at both ends. That prompts a timeout called by Isaiah Fox.
Yeah, first bucket of the second half for Teddy Allen there. That's been the key for the Mamba.
Tough catch, barreling, great defense, active hands, up the court to Mutabazi, right to the cup and just chased down, swatted aside, Trey King the third.
He looked over his shoulder and that was probably a mistake. Slowed down a little bit and great defensive stop, so we'll see again. These last 3 minutes are really the statement that both teams want to make going into the second half, and
Welcome back here to halftime, and the dance team are giving a nice show to the Montreal Lions faithful here for Verdun, Corbina Doro, Dwight Walton, Mo Khan. And then Dwight, here are the first half highlights, and quite frankly, the game of the game has been fast break points to the Lions, going from one end to the other end.
Well, this is what I spoke to at the beginning of the program, Mo. I wanted to see the matchup between Trey King and Quincy Guerrier. Quincy Guerrier got himself off to a hot start in that first half. There's Javon Freeman-Liberty making the nice mid-range jump from the free throw line. Davion Warren coming in off the bench, bringing in the offensive spark, was definitely aggressive, going to the basket, taking jumpers, doing everything, was pretty good defensively as well. Guillaume Boucard continuing his hot streak from on offense, turning defense into offense right there with a nice finish in transition. There's Tay Donald getting his shot blocked. And there goes Javon Freeman-Liberty finding a streaking Quincy Guerrier with the right-handed dunk. Ben Stevens sort of fumbling and bumbling his way to a nice finish left-hand jump hook in the paint. Teal finding Isaiah Moore, who's having himself a first half with 13 points, coming into the game averaging 7 points per game. Quincy Guerrier with the nice left-handed layup, strong finish. And there's Guillaume Boucard finding a streaking, one-handed, nice left-hand, right-hand layup by Trent Johnson. Scotty Lindsey doing what he does best, coming in off the bench and making a shot from distance, keeping the Edmonton Stingers down by 3 in the first half.
Well, you see some of the numbers right now. Edmonton spectacular from long range at 8 of 16 for 50%. Montreal right now not so great from the free throw line, 6 of 13. However, their saving grace, Stingers only 2 trips to the line, 0 of 2. I would imagine, Dwight, that might be changing in the second half here because, you know, the law of averages, they always even out at some point here, and free throws could be the make or break for one of these teams.
Well, for what they haven't done getting to the free throw line, they've made up at the three-point line.
Well, let's look kids enjoying the free throw show. And at halftime, it's Montreal 47-44 lead over Edmonton. Watch CBL live on CBL Plus, CBC Gem, YouTube, and listening to TSN 690 from Verdun, Quebec.
Tire.com.
Welcome back here to Verdun. Corbina Doro, Dwight Walton, Mo Khan. Let's go down to Corbina Doro, who's with head coach of the Edmonton Stingers, Jordan Baker.
Coach, you're starting the second half down by 3. What was the message at halftime?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game plan is there. But we turned the ball over too much. We let them get too many second chance opportunities, too many easy ones at the rim. So it's just a matter of doing a little bit better with our execution.
You're only down 3. What did you like about that first half?
I like the way we shared the ball offensively. I thought we were able to do some good things when we were able to get 5 guys in front of the basketball on defense. So for us, it's just trying to build a little bit on what we saw in the first half.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Thanks.
Back to you, Mo.
Thank you so much, Corbina and Coach Baker. And again, they want to really curb that flow of points that Montreal had, as evident by the first half stats. And speaking of those numbers here, Dwight, look at the players to watch. And right now, Isaiah Morris had the edge over Javon Freeman Liberty.
Well, so far so good, right, in the first half for Isaiah Moore. Definitely feels comfortable playing against Montreal. 16 points per game in his 5 previous games here. There's Moore getting the ball in the mid-range. That was the first shot of the night. You know, that felt good. Then he gets the ball in transition on a turnover with a two-handed flush. There gets another turnover. It's the same play right here. The nice deceleration dribble and the two-handed flush. Then you know he's feeling really good. Coming into the game, shooting 25% from 3, knocks down the 3 right there. Nice lob, misses the lob initially, gets his offensive rebound, and finishes softly over the top. And then Scotty Lindsey putting the ball on the deck and finding, Isaiah Moore on the end of the alley-oop play right there. Isaiah Moore definitely playing well in that first half. Also, Scotty Lindsey doing what he does best, coming off the bench and definitely putting an emphasis on putting the ball in the basket. 11 points for him right there. Was on full display because he can put the ball on the floor. Defense has to collapse on him. You saw him find more with an alley-oop play right there, but he could definitely put the ball on the floor to get to the rim, finish at the mid-range, and also, I just thought the last shot, finishing from distance.
And here's Javon Freeman Liberty for the Montreal Lions.
Not too much success offensively for Javon Freeman Liberty. Took 4 shots in the first half, finished with 4 points, showing right there his ability to finish through contact in transition. And there was the other field goal that he made, a free throw line mid-range jump shot. But did get the ball in transition right there. As we see Ant Nelson finishing with the layup off of a turnover. Great defense right there from Trent Johnson.
And Quincy Guerrier, he's had his own tune today.
As I said, Quincy Guerrier is definitely feeling better game by game, starting to get himself into better game condition, but he's definitely showing his prowess on the interior with jump hooks, strong finishing layups, and then the one-handed flush in transition. And then showing one of the few opportunities that he gets from 3, but knocking it down. And then a nice 2-man game between him and Ant Nelson, culminating with a 3 from distance and a strong left-handed contested left-handed layup to finish his scoring in the first half.
And then transition has been the key operative for the Lions today.
Guillaume Boucard, who's definitely had a good floor game defensively, been the beneficiary with a turnover, finishing with a layup right there. Same play. Here we see Ant Nelson off another turnover that Jordan Baker was talking about, that he wants the Stingers to limit. And here's Guillaume Boucard with the turnover, finding Trent Johnson with the nice layup in transition.
And again, defending for Montreal has been sparkling at times, and they got themselves some more transition points. As you see Gurry on the hammer blow. So we were talking about the free throw shooting for Edmonton. They're 0-2 so far. They make about 13 free throws a game, made, that is. Do you expect it to be a bit more aggressive trying to attack the rim than before?
Well, the Stingers definitely don't have any issues being aggressive on the offensive end. But again, as I said early on in the broadcast, I was looking to see which team would have the advantage in terms of bench productivity. And in that first half, Edmonton has outscored Montreal 22-16. Edmonton has gotten to the free throw line only twice in that first half. So they definitely want to put their heads down and put the onus on the officials to create contact and get to the free throw line. So at the very least, whether they make the free throws or not, they can have defensive balance rather than live ball turnovers and being taken advantage of in transition by the Alliance.
Some milestones to look at here. Isaiah Moore is now only 6 rebounds away from 350 in his CEBL career. And Quincy Guerrier, he probably won't hit tonight unless he goes on a real robust number of points, is now 33 points away from 500 in his CEBL career. So those are the two numbers we're looking at in the second half. I think the Moore number is more likely than Guerrier hitting 33 in the second half.
I think as much as Quincy Guerrier would love to score 33 points in the second half, he just wants the Alliance to build off the victory that they had against Winnipeg on Friday night by coming out with a victory over Edmonton this afternoon.
And we'll see what they can do now. As we said before, Montreal is 3-1 when they lead at halftime of a game, and Edmonton going to the third quarter, they're 1-3 when trailing. 47-44 lead for the Alliance. They're going right to left, Edmonton left to right. Freeman Liberty, Guerrier, and he fumbled it, and this will be Montreal ball, and that is where the challenge call would be ideal, because that conversation will be had by Max Odette and his crew.
Max Odette and Greg Southwood definitely did the right thing by getting together, and the correct call was made. The overturn right there. The Stingers off to a good start, getting a stop on the first possession of the second half.
Well, 10 intriguing minutes in this third quarter, and what could be happening here for Teal and Moore. And Moore has been absolutely sublime, swashbuckling, and he has been killing the Alliance in the paint today.
Teal turned the corner. The low tag was late. Nice play, nice pass over the top from Teal, and Isaiah Moore continues his hot scoring here in Montreal, going to the line for a possible three-point play to tie the game.
His own language, fluency, his own style, his own profile. He is a modern game changer for this Stinger team, now tied at 47 apiece.
Great start for the Stingers, getting a defensive stop and a three-point play on their initial offensive possession.
Here's the second. Freeman Liberty, and that was well played by the Alliance. The composure on that passing.
Nice pass from Michael Hughes, finding Javon Freeman Liberty in the dunker spot.
Teal denied. Moore, and he will go to the free throw line, and he is exposing the holes in the Montreal rebounding and defending of the rim.
Oh, while the shot block was great from Michael Hughes, what that does, it leaves the Alliance vulnerable on the defensive backboard. Here's Teal with the initial drive. Great shot block right there from Michael Hughes, but there's Isaiah Moore. Because he's scoring the basketball, energy seems to be finding him tonight on the offensive end.
He is a disruptor for the Stingers when it plays the opponents out there. He might give Jermaine Small and his staff a couple of Tylenols at the end of the game.
Without question. Michael Hughes was feeling good about himself after the block shot, took himself out of the play, allowing Isaiah Moore to get the offensive rebound.
I saw it from the flats. Rebound right back over it, and Edmonton could get the first lead in a long time. Not that time. Remember, they've had to lead for only 26 seconds of this game, and we've had 5 lead changes, so that shows you how quick Montreal's been going when trailing by a point or two.
You see what the Stingers want to do. They want to get that ball up the defensive backboard and catch the Alliance sleeping in transition. Excellent transition defense from JFL.
Teal to the corner pocket. Vanderbilt, but snap rebounded by Hughes the second. And the Alliance could extend their lead of 1. Osawe, same spot. He will now watch other options to look at. Anderson, quiet start for him. He had a few games of 10 points or more early in the season. Freeman Liberty. And a rebound by Vanderbilt as he boxed out Hughes the second.
Excellent job by Vanderbilt coming from the perimeter and getting the defensive rebound.
Better job by Guerrier, 201. Freeman Liberty. Anderson. Freeman Liberty. And a whistle and a foul. And that will result in free throws. And we talk about transition points. That could have been another fast break moment for the Alliance.
There was the turnover right there. Quincy Garrett, Jordan Baker spoke about that at halftime. But turning the ball over too much in that first half, allowing the Alliance to get in transition right there. Let's see if they can convert 2 important free throws. The issues continue for the Alliance. They're leaving way too many points on the board. This game is too close Of course, the Stingers will take it, but this game is too close to leave, as Coach Ball would say, free money at the free throw line.
This Eastern Conference game is presented by Lotto Max, and right now the Lotto Max is not paying off the lines. They're now 6 of 15 from the free throw line. That's 9 missed free throws, and they're up by 1, clinging to that. For the lead, confirmed. Stingers back up by 2 with 8:05 left in this third quarter.
King came into the game shooting 50% from 3. He just showed us why, giving the Stingers the lead.
And Montreal interception. Stingers are buzzing, 4-on-2. Transition, and that is confirmed by Nuga. 5-0 run for the Stingers.
Live ball turnovers are paramount in this league, in the CEBL. The Stingers showing why right there, catching the Alliance in transition.
8-2 start to this third quarter for the Alliance, or for the Stingers over the Alliance, that is. McNamara on Freeman Liberty. Osawe watched closely by Teal. That's volleyballed away. And here come the Stingers. Could this be a timeout time for the Alliance? Trailing more. And a foul on Guerrier. And right now, the Alliance are on their heels and Edmonton are on their toes, attacking with ferocity.
The Stingers went into halftime down 3, and they've had the start that Jordan Baker and the Stingers have wanted to have, giving them an early 4-point lead, forcing Jermaine Small to call a timeout.
And right now, it will be a timeout called by the Alliance. 7:20 left in this third quarter of play. You're watching CEBL Basketball Live on CBC Gem, YouTube, CEBL Plus, listening to TSN 690. Stingers now up by 4 early in the second half. Stay tuned for Montreal. Welcome back to Verdun, and there is the Montreal Alliance title. Let's go to Covino Dora with an Alliance update.
So, Mo, Dwight, in that huddle, Coach Jermaine Small was talking to his team about their offense, getting to their spots and running their sets. And then you can even hear some players on the bench saying that we have to move on offense. So we'll see how they respond. Mo?
Well, a response will be required because they have not been moving, and the Stingers have been moving with ease today, Dwight.
Isaiah Moore came into this game averaging 7.5 points and 4 rebounds. Again, you've heard me talk about how he likes playing against the Alliance, averaging 16 points per game. So far tonight, he has 19 points, 9 rebounds, and counting, and we still have 17 minutes to go or so over the course of this game.
And right now, the Alliance cannot contain the fizz of Isaiah Moore in the bottle on this Sunday. Moore contained. And here comes Nuga, and here come the Stingers flying down the court. Steele, King the third, rebound Hughes the second. And this is open, swashbuckling basketball going from one end to the other end. Warren finding Guerrier, right spot, right time, right hammer, off the miscue for Edmonton.
You never want to leave your feet without a plan. Davian Warren, got lucky there. The ball bounced right to Quincy Guerrier for the two-handed flush.
It's been helter-skelter for the Alliance. Warren trying to provide a little bit of switch, and that is on the ground with what it is right now. And unfortunately for Steele, he was caught in a cul-de-sac.
Excellent hustle right there. There's Ward, great individual defense on Teal. They're both going for the loose ball, and the ball definitely went off of Teal right there. 14 seconds on the shot clock for the Alliance. Excellent defensive possession right there for Davion Warren.
Freeman Liberty trying to bounce his way through. Boucard hit a 3 on Friday against Winnipeg. That is a whistle. And that will be free throws coming up here for Boucard. And with 6:24 left in this quarter play. And it's confirmed, an N1.
There's Guillaume Boucard taking King off the dribble, creating contact, and he's definitely looked more confident over the last couple of games on the offensive end. Guillaume Boucard going to the free throw line tonight now, where the Alliance have definitely struggled.
3 attempts, he's had 4 points or more in a game, and right now Boucard is on point number 9. And Montreal down by 1, and all of a sudden they're on a 5-0 run after that timeout by Jermaine Small.
When all else fails, Jordan Baker goes to his bench, bringing in Scotty Lindsay.
And here is Lindsay. Here is Nuga from the center arc. And a rebound right back to Guerrier. Edmonton now 9 of 20 from long range. Freeman Liberty, watch on the switch by Vanderbilt. Freeman Liberty with the Euro. And that is repelled away out of bounds by Nuga. It remains Montreal ball, 14 left in the shot clock.
The Stingers are doing an excellent job of baiting the Alliance into thinking that players are open right there. Like I said earlier, you never want to leave the floor without a plan. JFL got lucky right there with the deflection defensively.
Warren dancing against Vanderbilt. And he's caught. Whistle. Bring your own crew and experience and game day like never seen before. Get Alliance tickets by scanning the QR code by visiting alliancemontreal.ca/tickets. Next home game Wednesday against Brampton. And right now the focus is on Edmonton, but if this is a win for Montreal, that sets up for a real doozy against the Honey Badgers here on Wednesday.
The issues are starting to creep once again for the Alliance. The ball has become a lot more stagnant than it has over the last game and a half. You want the Stingers to move side to side defensively.
And here is side to side for Lindsay in. Lindsay acrobatic. And here is Moore. Canucks find the emphatic. And back over to Freeman Liberty, and the Alliance have numbers. This is a 4-on-3. Can he push it up ahead? Guerrier did not. And Boucard caught. Boucard in the byline. Guerrier in traffic. And he got hit in the head, in the face, and the kisser by Nuga. It looked like a traffic jam on the 720 going towards downtown.
Excellent initial block right there from Emmanuel Vanderbilt on Quincy Guerrier, who was going strong to the cup. One of the few things Isaiah Moore has done wrong this afternoon, got the offensive rebound. Instead of keeping the ball high and going back up with it, he allowed the guards to strip him down low. And there's Quincy Guerrier getting elbowed in the head by Michael Nuga. The correct foul was called, but the players are starting to get a little bit frustrated with the officiating this afternoon.
And that is going to go off of who? And this will be a foul on Edmonton. And Isaiah Moore is going to be the guilty verdict on that sequence. And for Isaiah Moore, second personal foul of the day.
The game is starting to get a little bit frantic once again, a little bit more physical. Both teams are smelling blood in the water, especially in terms of the turnovers, as both teams are thriving in transition with the Stingers now bringing in one of the bench force in Tay Donald.
And who does this benefit more with the physicality picking up?
Listen, both teams are physical, Mo, but again, it's going to be a test of wills over the rest of this game.
And that is going to go back to Edmonton. Here is Tate Donald. Double sub about to come in for the Stingers on the next dead ball. We approach 5 minutes left in this third quarter. Here is Isaiah Moore, watched by Johnston. The switch of play, the extra pass. Lindsay, the teardrop. Rebound Guerrier. 4:50 left in this quarter play. Guerrier now controls the shift. Boucard wanted in the low block against Donald. Backing up, using the 2 dribble, the 3 dribble, the 4th dribble, the 5th dribble, going the byline, and that is pushed out by Nuga. And the passing lanes have been really clogged up by the Edmonton length, taking away any passing acumen that Montreal is looking for right now.
Stanley Davis Jr. and former Montreal Alliance player Abdul Mohammed making his first appearance this afternoon, checking into the ball game for the Edmonton Stingers and see what kind of spark he could bring for the Stingers.
And here is Johnson. Can't bring the spark. Mohammed played 5 minutes against Brampton, did not score on Wednesday. And now it is Davis Jr. back with it. And here is Donald from the 45 against Freeman Liberty. Mohammed's first touch. And that is a whistle. And Mohammed's size 12 got it out.
I was about to say, his size 13s, which probably became 14s within that short corner forcing the turnover. There's Tay Donald, and yes, on the step, Greg Southward caught Muhammad's foot on the line, giving the Alliance an opportunity here. But what was good about it, that was a dead ball turnover.
Even if this shoe was size 10, it still would have been out of bounds.
That is correct.
4:15 left in this third quarter. Freeman Liberty against Muhammad on the switch. Bukari on the protractor to Johnson, guarded by Davis Jr. 10 left in the shot clock to work with. Johnson, Freeman Liberty, nowhere to go. A real stagnant possession for the Lions. Warren's fade. And that was well defended by Edmonton. And for Montreal, they were just tourists on that possession.
Well, right now, listen, I don't want to take anything away from the Stingers defensively, but the Alliance is shooting themselves in the foot by not having the Stingers go side to side and putting them in rotation, making them more frantic defensively, having to attack closeouts. It's easy to guard the ball when it's staying on one side.
Donald, Davis Jr. watched by Warren. Eyeball to eyeball for three. And a rebound for Moore, twisting and turning like Cirque du Soleil, and he gets another two-pointer, and there will be a tech called on Moore, who was a little too exuberant in his verbiage towards the Alliance team.
Well, Isaiah Moore has had that technical foul coming pretty much for the entire afternoon. He feels that he's getting the short end of the stick from the officials, and I think Jordan Baker is doing the right thing by taking him out of the game right now, just to cool his nerves, to settle him down. He's having a great game on both ends of the floor. He has been the best player in this game this afternoon, but he doesn't want to take away from how well he's playing by putting his Stingers teammates in a deficit. There he is with a great offensive rebound. Felt that he got fouled by Michael Hughes, and Max Odette said enough is enough and gave him a technical foul.
I believe he's been sent to the corner by Jordan Baker.
He definitely is in timeout right now.
He definitely is. It wasn't the most handsome moment for him. It's been a handsome day for him. Freeman Liberty. Handsome shot and a rapid parity at 57 apiece.
Javon Freeman Liberty was hell-bent to make sure his Alliance players understand the assignment right there. You wanted to score the ball for sure.
And a giveaway. Here is Warren. Here is Freeman Liberty up ahead for three. The putback by Boucard, the forensic finish. And Montreal now up by two.
Guillaume Boucard is definitely feeling more confident offensively right there, going strong to the glass. Nice left-hand finish touch.
Is this almost like a power play for the Alliance with more on the bench to really attack the rim?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it is. Yes.
Davis Jr., 2:48 left. Donald's three. And that ball sent towards the West Edmonton Mall.
Both coaches right now and some of the players are definitely venting their frustration with the officiating, especially as the game is getting more hotly contested. Scotty Lindsey coming into the game for Stanley Davis Jr. So there's the putback right there. Again, the ball finds energy, and Guillaume Boucard over the last game and a half has definitely been feeling more confident on the offensive end.
2:38 left in this third quarter play. Donald on Freeman Liberty. Boucard, his tag team partner. Muhammad on Freeman Liberty, and that was repelled away. And here's Lindsey trying to get it back in control, which he does. King. And that will be free throws coming up for Trey King III. And the ransom will be paid with free throws coming up for him.
You know what? Max Odette definitely saw what I saw. I believe although Boucard is there, he sort of turns himself to the side. He did not take the charge flush in the chest. The correct call was made. Trey King going to the free throw line for a possible three-point play to give the Stingers a one-point lead.
68 plus points. He's only had 5 so far today.
My fault, boy. I thought he made the layup. He did not make the layup. 2 free throws here for King.
Edmonton, your summer plans just got serious. Join us for multiple special edition theme nights throughout the season. Purchase today at stingers.ca/tickets. And right now for Trey King III, he gets both. And Montreal and Edmonton are back to 58 apiece. Isaac Jack in the game. Muhammad off. No subs for the Lions for the final 2:22 left of this third quarter.
This lineup right here with King, Donald, Lindsey, Jack, and Bandamel, they're definitely going to bring a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of motivation and dynamicism to the court.
Right now, the dynamism of Hughes' second will result in free throws. Look at points to the paint so far today, Dwight. Montreal's got 32 to the 22 of Edmonton. Montreal has 52 against Winnipeg. So really, their heat map, as you see in the paint, has been their calling card.
And from the beginning of the season, I love the synergy between Javon Freeman-Liberty and Michael Hughes. Once again, Liberty finding Hughes with the pocket pass and going to the free throw line.
And he misses that free throw. Montreal is now 6 of 16. They missed 10, and now we're tied at 59 apiece.
Once again, because of the free throw issues, they're leaving too many points on the board. And let's see if it comes back to bite them as we approach the fourth quarter and target score time.
Scarborough did it to them game number 1 here, and it could happen today if Edmonton finds its bearings. Vanderbilt. Donald's 3 and 1. And just like that, they're up by 2 with the chance to go up by 3.
You know, Davion Warren was late defensively off the pin down, freeing up Tay Donald, who takes the contact and is now going to the free throw line for a possible 4-point play. Tay Donald definitely adding to the bench productivity for the Stingers this afternoon. There was Warren getting caught going underneath the screen, and Tay Donald definitely took that as disrespect. And now let's see if he can make 4 points here.
Remains 2. And here's the second back with it. South of 2-point lead for Edmonton. Another lead switch in this game. That's 8 of the day. Freeman-Liberty. Still Freeman-Liberty. And Donald's taking to him like peanut butter and jam. Freeman-Liberty taking it back out and now sent towards St. Catherine Street.
That whole possession, Javon Freeman-Liberty had the ball for most of that 24-second shot clock. That's not what you want to see. You want to put teams in rotation defensively. It is a lot easier to defend when you can put 5 sets of eyes on one player dribbling the basketball.
You wonder how much they miss Ant Nelson, who's on 3 personal fouls, because he is the one who's been the ball carrier. And that is denied from the carrying of Donald. Reload for Vanderbilt. Here's his 3. And a rebound back to Boucard, and now is the Alliance on the go with 1:24 left. Warren from the corner pocket. Short. Clean up. Osawe makes it a tie game.
Short corner 3 was missed by Warren. Kevin Osawe giving the Alliance a second chance opportunity. Strong finish.
The 3. Rebound missed by King the third, and Montreal with a chance to go up again with a minute left in this third quarter. Warren dancing against Donald. Boucard. Osawe. And they'll swing it around the protractor again with 10 left in the shot clock. Warren's 3. And here's the second count gets with, and his numbers favoring Edmonton. And that will be a whistle with 44.2 left in this quarter play.
It's pretty clear that the officiating crew this afternoon has had enough. They don't care if the players are frustrated. You could talk with respect, but it's gotten out of hand from everybody involved on the floor. The correct call was made to put the Stingers on the free throw line. Let's see if King the third can make the free throw here.
And you see the rush to blood for Michael Hughes towards his head, and his blushes will not be spared as King the third makes the first free throw. And surprisingly enough, we look at the free throw numbers in this quarter play.
Yep.
Again, Edmonton now 3 of 6 from the line, so they've had 4 free throws in this quarter compared to the 0 for 2 in the first half.
And again, you as a player, as a team, I'm sure the Stingers are very aware that they only had 2 free throws at halftime. So I'm sure Jordan Baker employed his team to put their head down, be more aggressive. It's not just about being aggressive defensively and getting rebounds. Put your head down, get to the basket, and put the onus on the officials to make calls.
Jack, King the third, bouncing off Boucard. And the forensic finish by Jack in his first 2 points. Edmonton up by 3.
Love the physicality, love the energy that Isaac Jack brings to the table for the Stingers.
That Pacific toughness that you got from Dave Smarts. Warren, Freeman-Liberty. Osawe's 3, another early shot in the shot clock, and it goes back to Edmonton with 8 ticks left in this third quarter. Nuga at the burner's on, kick out, Donald corner pocket, cash money.
The Alliance did a poor job right there, going for the ball in the backcourt, putting their defense in horrible balance, allowing Tay Donald to end the corner with the 3.
Momentum favoring Edmonton. You're watching CBL Live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CBL Plus. Edmonton up by 6, quarter 4 coming. Welcome back here and look at the numbers for free throw shooting. In fact, Edmonton went 7 of 9 in that third quarter, so they had a +9 of free throws compared to Montreal. And again, look at these highlights here, Dwight. And here is the cruise of the game, courtesy of Trent Johnson. And that's only been the cruise so far for the Alliance in that third quarter.
Well, the reason the Alliance right now are in this deficit, the three-point shooting and the free throws for the Alliance has been awful this afternoon, while the Stingers have taken full advantage, going 7 for 11 for the free throw line, 11 of 25 from 3, while the Alliance are 3 for 17 from 3 and 9 for 19 from the free throw line.
Montreal, when they trailed going into the fourth quarter, they're 0-4. Edmonton, when they lead after 3, they're 2-0. And right now, they're up in this game by 6. Nelson back in the game. Will he make a difference? Rebound back over to Edmonton.
Great start defensively to the fourth quarter for the 6-point leading Edmonton Stingers.
Davis Jr., a little shimmy, and the shine on that, and they're up by 8.
Excellent in-and-out dribble right there from Stanley Davis Jr., finishing strong with the right hand.
Boz Davis Jr. with that finish, and here is Anton Nelson. And right now it's been disjointed for the Lions. A foul call on the Stingers. 9:12 left in the ball game. Edmonton up by 8.
Right now, Jermaine Small is trying to find an offensive. There's the in-and-out dribble right there, eluding Guillaume Boucard, and being challenged at the rim meant nothing for Stanley Davis Jr.
Gurrier. Trey King third on him. Gurrier had a quiet third quarter. Double team from Jack. 5 left to shot clock. And again, the pass lanes clogged up. Davis Jr. And he has a heart and mouth moment on that missed dunk. Boucard, here's the second and 1. 5-point swing.
A possible 5-point swing. Let's see if those 2 points that Stanley Davis Jr. left on the board for the Stingers can come back to haunt them later on as we approach target score time with Isaiah Moore and Javon Freeman-Liberty, the 2 players to watch coming into the game and coming back onto the court. Stanley Davis Jr. wanted to have a highlight finish, but now with the foul on Jack, Michael Hughes can finish here a 5-point swing for the Alliance.
Well, they've missed 10 free throws. Make that 11 free throws.
Definitely not helping themselves. This has been a theme since the start of the season.
Well, they've missed 10 or more. It's been a common theme for them this year. That's now 3 times they've missed 10 or more free throws in the game. Davis Jr. will redeem himself on the 3, and now they're up by 9.
You know, that entire time, Stanley Davis Jr. wanted to make sure that he made up for the missed dunk.
Gurrier. And all of a sudden, this honeycomb is becoming an unenjoyable moment for the Alliance. Gurrier for the flats. And another rebound for Moore, and the Alliance needs the Tongues to come back quicker than before. And a high angle does not go through. Gurrier on the cleanup again for the Alliance. And now the Alliance trying to get this ball back south of 8, and they have it back in control. Oh, and that is a giveaway. Well read. Donald, this will be the easiest layup in his career. And he confirms that as they punish the Alliance again. 7:47 left in this quarter play. Timeout called by Jermaine Small. Jordan Baker, very content. Jermaine Small, not so much. Watching CEBL live on TSN 690, YouTube, CBC Jam, and of course it's on this whole platform now. So right now, Dwight, what's got to change for the Alliance, because they're chasing this game down by 11. That's the biggest lead for the Stingers, up by 11.
Well, you know, Stanley Davis Jr. would definitely wanted to make up for the missed dunk that he had. That was a huge three right there from him. But there's another easy layup for Tay Donald. What's killing the Alliance this afternoon is that they're not shooting the ball well from three, nor from the free throw line. Too many live ball turnovers, and they've allowed Isaiah Moore to get off offensively. You know he feels great playing against the Alliance, and they've allowed him to play well this afternoon. But until the Alliance take care of the simple things, the free throw line and the turnovers, it's going to be a long afternoon for them. And right now it speaks to that, with the Stingers having an 11-point lead with 7.5 to go. The crowd here is trying to be hyped up as much as they can by the hype man here in Montreal, but the Stingers are definitely feeling good about themselves coming out here as we approach target score time.
Let's go down to Cubino Door now with the Southern Report.
So, Mo, in that timeout, Coach Mo was talking to his team about securing the basketball, transition, and getting to their spots, and also playing better defense. Mo?
Thank you so much, Cubino. And right now the Alliance are down by 11. And it still remains that, will remain that, and rebounded by Freeman Liberty. Boucard on his gallop, and in for 2. And now they're down by 9.
Guillaume definitely put his head down. 2 strong dribbles on the deck. Nice finish.
Nuga, Vandemel, reload for 3. And the rebound for Nelson. In fact, if you look at Edmonton's points so far, Dwight, 36 points from 3, 39 from the rest of the range. And a rebound back over to Edmonton the other way.
The difference was, like I said, is definitely the three-point line and the free throws.
And that will rim out off the Nuga miss. Interception. Lindsay, Stingham. And now they're up by a bigger scoreline of 78-66.
Jermaine Small took an immediate seat on the bench once he saw that ball was turned over and knew the Scott Lindsay 3 was going to go down.
Guerrier, and that will get it a bit closer to 10. Remember, we're about 2 and change from target time. Vandemel skying up there. The pump back by Moore, and the stare down towards the Alliance bench with a little ha-ha with it.
The Alliance have fallen apart. Their compete level definitely is not the same as it was earlier in this game.
The Verdun light shining on the Stingers, exposing the Alliance. 3-on-1. Nuga going up and is now running riot by Edmonton. They're up by 14 with 6:10 left in this ball game.
The Stingers have taken the life out of the Alliance. You can see the shoulders slumping, the life, the body language, not good for the Alliance right now. Full credit to the Edmonton Stingers.
Different oxygen levels for both teams. Warren's 3. And now the whole of that basketball looks like a keyhole for the Alliance. They smell blood. Lindsay, cash money. 17-point lead.
Again, the Stingers have taken the life out of the Alliance. You can see them questioning themselves, looking at each other. They're trying to find some kind of spark as we approach target score time. Great job by the Stingers.
10-4 run after that timeout for Edmonton. Here's Guerrier's 3. And another one and done for the Alliance, and Baker is pushing. He wants this team to push. They want to buzzsaw this Alliance team. And now back over to the corner pocket. Vandemel on the byline. Vandemel looking, no look. Nuga from the line. And right now, they are on fire.
Again, the Stingers, they smell blood in the water. They can see it in the Alliance's eyes. Things aren't going well. Killing that with an axe.
And Gurria gets that to stop the bleeding for the moment, but down by 17. But again, they are in a right of a 17-point deficit against Edmonton. Teal. And that ball sent towards Fort McMurray and going back to the line.
The Alliance right now have no choice but to play perfect basketball as we're 35 seconds away from the target score time. Edmonton with a 17-point lead. Full marks to them, full credit to them for just taking advantage of it. There's Nuga with the transition layup. The Alliance, their sense of urgency, their attention to detail, specifically on defensive balance and transition, has not been the same in the second half.
Freeman Liberty will go to the free throw line, and that'll help for the moment with 4:24 left. But again, for the Alliance right now, it has been one of those real tested character moments for them. And it's now or never, Dwight, in terms of trying to make this a conversation towards target time.
Well, at the very least, but with Javon Freeman Liberty getting to the free throw line, what it will do at least is give the Alliance some defensive balance. But of course, they need to make these 2 free throws first.
Well, for the Edmonton Stingers, they head back home where they'll face the CEBL leading scorer Miles Powell and the Scarborough Shooting Stars from Edmonton Expo Center next Saturday. Tip-off at 7 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. East. And for Montreal, they'll continue their homestand when they host the East-leading Brampton Honey Badgers at Verdun Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. So not easy for the Lions as they face the top of the mountain Honey Badgers.
This must be extremely frustrating for Jermaine Small and his coaching staff to see this time and time again be an issue. The free throw line has killed the Alliance this season.
Teal around 1. More strips. Recovered by Lindsay, recovered by Hughes II. Here's Johnson. They got a really pushy agenda. Freeman Liberty. Rebound back to the Stingers. We're now in target time. Nuga. Lovely footwork, lovely balance, and a lovely finish. The poise by him, and they're back up by 18.
Quickness in transition on display right there by Michael Nuga. And a smart foul for Jordan Baker to tell Nuga to create there as we go underneath the 4-minute target time.
And 2 blinks to the eye, Edmonton up by 18. You're watching CBL live on CBC Gem, YouTube, CBL Plus, and listening to TN 690. Edmonton up big. All right, welcome back. There is a joyous Edmonton sideline as they know they're on the cusp of win number 3 of their season. And we're now in target score time as we get it for this transition. The target number now, Dwight, to win this game is going to be 98 points. And here's some highlights from Michael Nuga and the Stingers.
Michael Nuga has had a very good floor game himself today, scoring in transition, playing well defensively. And you can just feel it here at the Verdun Auditorium, Mo. The entire Stingers team has just sucked the life out of the building. The players on the court and the fans in the stands. Again, full credit to the Stingers. Jordan Baker, whatever he said to his players at halftime, definitely resonated because they have been the dominant team and has given them an 18-point lead here in target score time. The Alliance pretty much have to play perfect basketball if they even want to give themselves a chance at victory this afternoon.
Definitely, go ahead, Dwight.
Definitely the Stingers are with all the leverage here.
Edmonton, when they lead in target, are 2-1. Here's the second with the hammer blow. However, for Montreal, they're 0-4 when they enter target period, and they have a lot of work to do, Dwight.
Nice play to start target score time right there for the Alliance. Hughes with a nice finish on the alley-oop.
If Edmonton hits the target number of 98, they'll be 3-1 when they score 95 points or more in a game. The fade, Teal, the clanking in.
The iron was very kind right there for Teal, who came to a quick stop. Nice jumper.
Courier out of bounds. He ran out of racetrack on that one, and the 91-73 lead. Only 7 points required for Edmonton to win.
That turnover right there epitomizes the frustration for Coach Small and the Alliance this afternoon.
Well, if there's good news for the Alliance, if they were to hit 90 points or more, they would be 4-0. But right now, they have a lot of work to do to hit that number. Lindsay from the center arc. Not that time. And the rebound for Freeman Liberty. Hughes the second on the catch. Mossing his way through, and that will be a travel. And unfortunately for Hughes the second, he had a couple of steps too many.
It's not a travel, but the thing is, the correct call was made. Hughes and the defender, they had their ball on. It was Hughes and Nuga. There's no foul right there. They're both on the ball, and the ball goes off Hughes. Correct call was made by the official. Let's see if the Stingers can add onto their approach to victory here.
And that's a deflection, and that is a dive for Lindsay. That is kept alive, and we play on. Teal's three. The putback, the cleanup for Moore, and he's fouled by Hughes second. And Isaiah Moore has had a field day against the Alliance Bigs. He's caused them headaches, probably migraines, and you see what he's done so far today, Dwight.
There's Teal trying to put the dagger with the transition three right there. But there's Isaiah Moore. It's pretty clear if the Stingers go on to victory here, Hukubino Aduro is going to be having the interview after the game is done for the post-game interview. It's going to be Isaiah Moore. He has been the best player on the floor from start to finish this afternoon.
Well, he's provided the boost, if you know what I mean. He is the boost juice player of the game.
Well played, Volkan. But it's, again, Isaiah Moore has done it on both ends. Rebounded the basketball, ran in transition, knocked down a three, but most of his damage has been done at the free throw line and around the rim. Excellent afternoon for the player of the game as far as I'm concerned, Isaiah Moore.
5 required for Edmonton to win this game. Montreal needs 25, so they have to essentially go on a 25-4 run to win this game outright. He was the second, and now a ping pong off of Boucard, and you can see the miscommunication with Hughes the second and Boucard on that moment.
It's pretty clear that Hughes on the catch thought Guillaume Boucard was going to stay in the short corner for the three. That's why the pass to Guillaume Boucard was so hard, and Boucard would have had to have had great hands like vice grips in order to catch that rocket pass.
He might have needed Stickum on that one.
More than Stickum.
And a 5 points separation for Edmonton for win number 3 of the season. Here is King the third. Trying to dance around Boucard. King the third dancing again. Looking. Rebound Jack, and he can't finish that.
Again, there was Jack using his big body, his physicality. Unfortunate for him with the missed left-handed finish.
Freeman Liberty. Really a lot of homework to do now for the Alliance. Freeman Liberty can't get the introduction done yet, but we'll go to the free throw line. But again, this is bad news for the Alliance, Dwight.
The Alliance, they do a very good job of getting their team to the free throw line, but the problem is they can't make it. Here's Javon Freeman Liberty taking the contact from Trey King the third. All the importance, all the shots right now offensively are paramount for the Alliance. Let's see if Javon Freeman Liberty can get 2 points here and give some life to the Alliance and their fan base.
The Alliance have missed 12 free throws today. That sums up their day, pretty much. And that will get this down to a 93-74 lead. But again, Montreal needs 24 without reply, pretty much. 24-4 run to win this game.
Sort of a Bronx cheer from the Vidal Auditorium crowd. Happy to see the Alliance make a free throw.
And that will go through, and this will be a 93-75 lead. They might do a cup parade after that one, by that cheer. But again, the Alliance have what to do with the Stingers, knowing they need 2 more field goals. A 3-2 combination would do it for them. Donald, watched by Hughes second. Jabbing his way back. Rebound Freeman Liberty. And now the Alliance trying to chip away, chisel this down if they can. And this will help with free throws coming up, but the bad news is for Quincy Guerrier. He's 1-6 from the line today.
Yes, and again, if there's one player you should foul, Isaiah Jack was retreating defensively, was not in a legal guarding position, and Quincy Guerrier, to his credit, created the contact. Now he has to convert 2 free throws.
And that won't happen. As Moore and Bandewell will come in for the Stingers, no subs for Jermaine Small. I think there will be one happy coach when that dinner happens tonight with Jermaine Small and Coach Jordan Baker.
The tough afternoon from the free throw line continues for Guerrier and the Alliance.
1 of 8 now, Quincy Guerrier from the line. Edmonton needs 5 more points for victory. King Davis, the junior that is with it, back out to Nuga's 3. And that makes it a bit closer. One more field goal confirms win number 3.
Nuga has been excellent this afternoon in transition, finishing at the goal, and right there showing his prowess from the three-point line.
Freeman Liberty from the center arc. And a rebound right into the hands of Edmonton. And this could be the moment now for them. And now Davis Jr. back with it. Dashes his way through, and this will be a whistle as Moore will come back in along with Bandewell for the Stingers on this sub pattern coming up.
Well, the Alliance still have 2 fouls to give before they're in the penalty, so the Stingers still have to score in the half court. And here, there's Stanley Davis right there, creating the contact with Michael Hughes and Javon Freeman Liberty. And with the Stingers being 2 points away from victory, Jordan Baker calls a timeout to drop a play for the Stingers to end the frustrating afternoon and forcing a loss on the Montreal Alliance.
Yeah, the Alliance don't have it any easier. They get Brampton on Wednesday, and oh, by the way, they go play Niagara on the weekend on the road. They've only won once against the River Lions. Meanwhile, for the Stingers, they will play Scarborough next weekend, and then they travel to Winnipeg, and then they play Winnipeg twice more here on the 17th, and then play the Alliance on June 17th, that is, and play Winnipeg on June 20th. So they'll have the rendezvous with the Alliance coming up next week, but again, for the Stingers, it'll be a nice flight home tomorrow morning.
With all of the home games that these guys are having, Mo, at the beginning of the schedule, and being a heavy road team in the month of July, it's been pretty clear that the Alliance need to take advantage of all these home games. But again, the turnovers, the free throws, and the ball being stagnant offensively, not moving teams side to side and putting them in rotation and in a frenzy. It's been a very, very frustrating start to the season, particularly here at home for Jermaine Small and the Alliance.
Well, Edmonton on ball. Bandewell, Moore, King III, along with Donald and Davis Jr. King III. He'll take it himself, and he was the second and last touch by Edmonton.
That is the right call. Greg Southward wanted to see what Max Odette had on the baseline, but he saw what I saw. The ball clearly went off of King's leg, giving the Alliance a stay of execution, if you will, offensively here.
They extend their recess by maybe one more possession. Nelson with it. More on him, the length against the speed. Nelson, splash.
A little sign of life right there at Nelson. Again, the offense was stagnant, but the Alliance will take what they can get offensively. Nice shot from at Nelson right there.
Davis Jr. The high-low. Artistic gravity at its finest. Perhaps winning the West will be a tough ask, but Edmonton has sent a warning shot that they have plenty of sting left as they win 98-78 over the Montreal Lions. But what a finish for Isaiah Moore on this Sunday afternoon.
It only makes sense for Isaiah Moore, who came into the game having a career-best 16 points per game against the Montreal Alliance, scored the first basket of the game for the Stingers with a mid-range jumper, and ends the game emphatically with a nice alley-oop two-handed flush to win the game for the Stingers this afternoon.
And it'll be a long couple of days for Montreal in preparation for Brampton here at home. And for Edmonton, they'll have a nice flight going back home on Monday morning as they gear up for Scarborough on the weekend. And Dwight, this Edmonton team, no Nick Hornsby in the lineup. And once they get him back in there, they're going to be a team that will be a tough out for Winnipeg or Vancouver and the playoff chases towards August.
And again, with the confidence that Jordan Baker infuses into his team, especially the players coming off the bench, the Stingers are going to be in for a great regular season.
Let's go down to Quebec with not one, but a plethora of Stinger players led by Isaiah Moore.
Isaiah, you guys came out with the win. It was a little chippy there. What was going on?
Hey, that's just a good old-fashioned CEBL competitiveness, man. You got to love the CEBL. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be physical. You might not get a call or two, but you got to keep playing, though. That's the CEBL.
That final dunk to end off the game, what did that feel like? I saw the emotion.
That's just the way I play. That's just love for the game, having fun with it. My mom tells me before every game, have fun. So I wanted to make sure I had fun tonight.
During the game, it was a really close game between the two teams, but in the fourth quarter, you guys ran away with it. How did you do it?
Coach told us to just stay with our game plan. And the guys, we stayed together the whole time. We knew this was a game we was going to come in and win on an early Sunday. The fans were into it, and as long as we stayed with our game plan, we stood a good chance at winning.
I'm going to ask you a self-explanatory question. You had 27 and 15 boards. How would you rate your performance tonight?
There's always room for improvement. I missed some free throws, missed some threes, but there's always room for improvement. I'm just happy we got the dub, though. Happy we got the W.
Thank you very much. Back to you, Mo.
Thank you so much, Gobina. 27-15 for Isaiah Moore. Stay tuned. We'll wrap it up here. Edmonton winners tonight as they went 98-78 over the Montreal Lions. Watch CBL live on CBL Plus, YouTube, CBC Gen, and listening to TSN 690. All right, welcome back. Triple header coming up Wednesday. We will open up with Scarborough at Niagara at 7 p.m. And then we'll have the Honey Badgers against the Alliance at 7:30 p.m. Then we'll wrap it up with Mamba at Surge, 9:30 p.m. East, 7:30 p.m. Central Mountain Time. As here, it was all Edmonton. They went on a 23-12 run to kill off the Alliance as they went 98-78 over Montreal on this road trip. And they'll end it off here. This little boy was really happy for a moment or two, but the Stingers were happier as they come away with victory number 3. Montreal drops to 3-5. Edmonton now 3-4. They'll head home. They'll get a big one against Scarborough next weekend. That was the target mark. Edmonton with ease, courtesy of Isaiah Moore, as they win this game over the Alliance on the 27-15 from him. On behalf of Dwight and Corbina, wish you a good afternoon. We'll see you Wednesday. We'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.